Hi folks, it's me Michaela and welcome back to my channel. I feel like recently I've been stuck in this TBR paralysis. Every time I need to start reading a new book because I finished one, I'm just looking at my shelf and looking at my Libby app and like drawing a blank, not really feeling like, it's like there's too many choices, what do I read kind of things. And I was like, oh my god, why don't I just make a TBR list? So I'm here with my fall TBR. I haven't made a seasonal TBR in a while, and I don't know why, because I do always find them very helpful to just have like a narrowed down list of like, this is when I want to focus on reading, helps me read more, and boy do I need that, because Goodreads is basically yelling at me right now because I'm like 5 books behind my reading goal. But we're going to fix that before the end of the year, okay? I have plans to reach my Goodreads goal to read more of my 23 books in 2023 and read more of my 24 books in 2024. And we're going to see how many of those goals I can accomplish. But the first step of that is the fall TBR that I have created for myself today. I have the iPad out. I have a stack of books that is as tall as my chair. Don't think you can see it now. No spoilers. And, let's talk about books I want to read in fall. So just to start off, the first book I have is Fall With Me by Becka Mack, and this is the book I'm actually currently reading. And look, I'm not even done the book yet, but this is going to be my last Becka Mack book, okay? I wanted to give this one a chance because this is like her newly published one. It's like officially published, so I was like, all of those extremely annoying editing problems I've had with the first 3 books, like, they're gonna be fixed in this book. This book is gonna be better, and I'll just be able to have like a fun time with how ridiculous I find the plots, which is like fun for me. No. There are still so many freaking editing mistakes in this book. It is driving me up the wall because I paid money out of my pocket, okay, that I worked for with my job to purchase this book, and you don't even have an editor who can fix typos? Many typos. There's also a point where there's like a joke that's supposed to be happening where somebody like hears something they didn't want to hear and they start rubbing their eyes, and the other character is supposed to make a joke like, you can see sound now, but what's actually in the book is, what? You can hear sound now? You missed the punchline of your joke. I'm still reading it. I want to finish it because sometimes I like reading trash, but like it's making me angry that I spent my money on this, and I'm like, I don't care how many more books come out in this series. I am done. It makes me mad. Like, get an editor, get somebody who knows English, like get a friend to read it and fix the typos or something. I don't know. Like, I'm not even like talking structural editing. I am talking literal, like the word is wrong. You used the wrong English word in your sentence. There is a typo. The words are in the wrong order. The sentence structure is just like, what is happening? There's times when like words are there twice. It'll be like in. Those mistakes should not be in a published book I spent my money on. Thank you. Okay, now that rant is over, let's just like move on to my other plans. In general, I'm thinking I'm like moving away from romance at the moment. I was really in my romance era and I was loving it during the summer. I was being really drawn to it, but I feel like now that like the very little sprinkling beginnings of fall are here, like it's still very much summer temperatures, but in my brain I'm like, it's fall because it's September. I want to move over to some other more cozy fall genres like fiction and fantasy and mystery and stuff. So that's where we are. The first book I have, well, I guess this is the second because this was the first book. Also, I feel like I usually stand these up. Why did I not stand this up? Cute. So the next book on my TBR that I have is Us Against You by Fredirk Backman. This is the second book in his Beartown series. Got this book from my sister when I was on vacation, family vacation, so we were all there. I'm very excited about this. I'm planning to like annotate this since I have annotated my other Fredirk Backman books, and I would probably say Fredirk Backman is my favorite author despite like not having read like everything he's written, but like I do really enjoy everything I have read. And I'm going to read this and I'm very excited. And then I'm thinking probably not this year because this year is going by way too quickly, but But in the new year, I plan on buying The Winners, which is like the third and final book in the trilogy. And then I'll be like done this series and I'll own it on my shelf and it'll all be annotated and I'll be like super duper happy about that. That is like very high up on the priority list of my reading. I'm very excited for this one. I then have Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. This I had on my 24 books in 2024 list, and I have like a Libby loan that actually should probably be coming in pretty soon. And I have actually started this book. There was like one day while I was in Montreal before I went on vacation where I didn't have a book to read, and I had the Libby loan of like Tress of the Emerald Sea come in. So I was like, oh, let me start that and see what the vibe is, because I didn't want to start like a new physical book because I didn't want to have to bring it with me on vacation because I had books planned to bring on vacation. Anyway, none of that really matters. I started Tress of the Emerald Sea and I was liking the vibe, so I'm kind of excited to read that, and it is on the list of books I said I wanted to read, so like cute, actually doing things I said I would do. I'll probably just like start that over and then like read it completely. I think I read like maybe like 50 pages or something, not like a whole lot of it. So I'll probably start it over and continue on that fun adventure. I do like Brandon Sanderson. Like I said, I feel like the fall is like time when I start feeling like reading fantasy again. So I do think I'll read that and hopefully I'll love it. I'm really looking for books I'm gonna love. Next, I have Jade Legacy by Fonda Leigh. This is the third and final book in the Greenbone saga, and I'm very excited for this one because I really enjoyed both Jade City and Jade War in the Greenbone saga, so I'm sure that like the last book is going to be fabulous. Urban fantasy, feels very cozy fall. And then, you know, there's the added bonus that I get to read a book on my 23 books in 2023 list and tick that off. And then I also will be like completely finished an entire series that I can knock off of my series spreadsheet, which is great. I'm always thinking about the spreadsheet. The next book I have, this might shock people. I have a graphic novel. It is Ducks. Hold on. This is a heavy book. Okay. I have tiny little hands. How am I supposed to hold this? Ducks by Kate Beaton. This I got in a book swap while I was on vacation. Did a little book swap. And it's a graphic novel, and I've never read a graphic novel before. Not necessarily because I think I won't like them, but just because I'm like, there's already so many books. I can't possibly start reading like a new format genre of books, you know, like I might lose my mind. But now that I have one, I'm like excited to read it. So like I might make a reading vlog of like reading my first graphic novel. That could be cute. That could be fun. What do we think? I'm hoping like maybe I'll just take like a weekend and read this. I assume I'll be able to read it pretty quickly because of the whole graphic novel thing. Also, this is just a really big book, so I don't want to have to like lug it to work and back because I am small. I'm too little for that. The next... Ooh, what just happened? My voice... The next book I don't have, but it will be the third book in Gold Rush Ranch, which is The Front Runner by Elsie Silver. This series is getting new covers, and that is when I started buying it. So I have Off to the Races, and I have A Photo Finish, and I have read both. Off to the Races, it also has the Out of the Gate novella in the back of this. So I've read both of these, and the third book with the new cover is releasing in November, I believe, so I'm going to be pre-ordering that. I will be pre-ordering the fourth book as well, which comes out in December, but obviously December is not in the fall, so that's not going to be on my fall TBR now, is it? But I'm going to get that book and I'm going to read it because I really want to read all of Gold Rush Ranch before the end of this year and then get back to reading Chestnut Springs. So this is like one of the romances that I am actually still excited to continue and I want to read. I'm not feeling too passionate about any of my other ones necessarily at the moment, so it is what it is. But I am excited about Elsie Silver, Canadian author. We love to see it. I don't know. I guess maybe there's just something about the horses that feels more fall vibes than summer. Don't ask me to explain it. It just makes sense in the brain. Makes sense in the noggin. I then have another book from my 23 books in 2023 list that I want to read. Will there be a third installment of reading books I was supposed to read last year? Potentially, because, you know, I have Jade Legacy and then I have this next book coming up, and that is going to be The Bands of Mourning by Brandon Sanderson, which is the third book in Era 2 of Mistborn. Again, I've read the first two. The only problem about this is that I really don't feel like I remember what happened in these books. I don't know if like maybe I'll reread these two, The Alloy of Law and Shadows of Self, and then try reading The Bands of Mourning, which if that's the case, then I don't think I'll actually get to The Bands of Mourning this fall. However, I think I might like try starting The Bands of Mourning, and then if I really like have zero recollection, then we're gonna just like hit a little rewind and restart the series. Look, that's why I buy books. I want to reread them. The Bands of Mourning is on my list technically, but the reality might be a reread of The Alloy of Law and Shadows of Self, and then maybe getting to The Bands of Mourning. That is a lot to ask for myself considering my current state of reading being 5 books behind. But then again, maybe I just need to get me arse in gear and start reading more books. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I will achieve these goals that I set for myself. I then have Just Another Missing Person by Gillain and McAllister. This is a book that I would like to buy. I read Wrong Place, Wrong Time last year, not on my shelf because that was the book I book swapped for Ducks because that was one of my favorite books last year, if not my favorite book I read last year. It was so good. So I want to read Just Another Missing Person because that feels very fall vibes. The little thriller mystery moment, and I liked her writing, so I'm excited to read that. I just like can't own the book right now because like I'm currently on a no spend month, but like in October the plan is to pre-order the Elsie Silver and then maybe buy Just Another Missing Person. I think I can handle that, and then not buy anything else. I'm gonna use all of the self-control I have. This one I'm really not sure about. Okay, I put this on the list because I was like, it's on my 24 books in 2024. Actually, Just Another Missing Person is also on my 24 books in 2024, but this one is also on the 24 books in 2024. And like I said, I want to read the books I said I was going to read. So that's Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, which is, what is that series called? Alex Stern. Again, this would be like a Libby read. I'm not going to be buying that book. So like if the Libby loan comes in and I'm like in the mood to read it, then it might happen. But I'm not like, ooh, let me read that right now. I'm so dying to read the book. Which is funny because I feel like this time last year I was like really excited to potentially read that book. You know, like maybe I will, maybe I won't. If I end up having to reread 2 Brandon Sanderson books, and then like Ninth House is definitely not happening, you know? But like it's on the list because what if I just finished reading a book and then I want to start a new one. I don't know what to read. And then suddenly I see Ninth House on this list and I'm like inspired to read it. You know, like that's what the whole TBR list is for. So I want the option there. I think that makes sense. Okay, the last thing on the list, I don't even know how I'm going to manage this. Hold on. Just give me a moment. A reread of Harry Potter. I did start a reread of Harry Potter literally like 2 years ago, and I read the first 2 books and then I just stopped. So I was doing a reread for the nostalgia and also to just kind of like go back and read these books that I really loved as a kid, but with like a more critical eye. And then I just like stopped. Did not continue with that. So I would like to finish doing that reread since it is like on my series spreadsheet as like a thing I'm doing, and a series I'm reading is specifically Harry Potter bracket reread bracket. And again, because it's like fall, like this is the time of year where I feel like I'm gonna be itching to read some nostalgia, fall, cozy fantasy books. You know, like the school elements of Harry Potter is always something fun for me now that I'm not in school anymore and I can just reminisce about it in like a positive way instead of like, ugh, exams. This is the last thing on the list, but this is like kind of low priority. Again, I'm not gonna read all of it, but I think I'm gonna restart my reread and continue on and finish my reread in however long it may potentially take me. I think the last time I reread Harry Potter was during the Panini when I was like isolating in my parents' basement for 2 weeks and literally had nothing else to do, and I just like sped read all of the books in the 2 weeks I was just like stuck on a couch in the basement. So it's been a while. This time I'm actually wanting to like think critically instead of just reading for fun like I was in 2020. That's my fall TBR, guys. I feel like it's highly ambitious, but it's meant to be like more books than I think I will be able to read so that I continue to have options. And it's not like it gets to the end of the fall and then I'm like, well, this is the only book I have left on the TBR. You know? That's the plan. If there's anything here that you would like to see me make a reading vlog on that I've talked about, like, let me know. Also, let me know what you're planning on reading this fall. If you happen to like this video, make sure to give it a like, give it a little thumbs up. If you happen to like me, consider subscribing. I'd be happy to have you. And with that, I hope you're having a wonderful day today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.